Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I'm going to make what I hope is a very simple graduation shaker style card. We're not going to need a whole lot of products. Oh, sorry, my voice seems to be going today. Don't need a whole lot of products. We're just going to do a basic card, and you can make the same card based on your school colors. Just move some of my stamping platforms aside. I'm only going to be using one ink today, VersaFine Clair. I've got some assorted shaker elements in my school colors, which my local school is blue, black, white, and silver. And I'm just going to use the Congrats sentiment from this Hero Arts stamp set that I got from Joann Fabrics. I'm going to use a pair of tweezers. If you have embroidery floss, you can use that. I didn't have the right color, but I did have these little tassels. I make little crocheted purses that I put these on. So I'm just going to use a tassel and a jump ring. But if you have thread, just use a thread and one brad. And for our card, we can get started. And I have a Swiffer because we're going to use acetate. And I don't want the acetate to be sticky. The card base is 5 by 7, and the silver piece here measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I'm going to glue that right down. Oh, I see I got, where did I get that ink on my card front from? I thought I checked that out really well. Good, it's off the edge. So, okay, we're going to start, and I'm just going to glue down this silver. You can take this basic card design, fancy it up, pardon me, use different colors to match your school, or you could just do it in a basic black and white for like a generic card. Now I'm going to put down this blue piece. I think the blue is next. Yeah, the blue is next. And this measures 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Putting these parts together is the quickest part of this card. At least I hope it will be. And I'm just going to brush that down, make sure I have it centered. Because we're going to put the black layer down next, and then I'm going to stick my platform on here while we work on the rest of the card. This black piece measures 4 5/16 by 6 5/16. Now, if you have want to make this a little bit more feminine, you could use maybe like this waffle flower lacy layers, and you could cut out the different layers using the scalloped sentiment or an edge die. I'm just going kind of plain. This one, I have a boy in mind. He's not actually graduating until next year, but I figure it's getting graduation time. I need to do some graduation cards. And I might have someone in the graduating class that I don't know is in the graduating class, like a friend's grandkid or something. And so now I'm going to sit this on here, and we're done with that until we get the shaker made. Now, the next layer, I have 2 pieces of white. These are 4 by 6 1/2, I believe. No, 4 by 6. I do apologize for that. It's 4 inches by 6 inches, and I have 2 pieces. The one's just a backing. And I need to get out my cutting mats. I'm going to use a die cut, and these are Hero Arts. I think they're called Infinity dies. I got these at Joann Fabrics, and I'm going to use this star. I'm just going to cut it out. And you can put this anywhere on here. You could put it in the center, off to the left. I believe I want to put it over here to the right, and I kind of want to leave room to put tape for my shaker card, so I think that's a good location. So let's just run that through right now. And it's actually a one-handed operation. Now, I'm just going to use, I have this magnet that picks up things. Okay, and then we have this nice etched die that you can use on another card. And we have our cutout here. And I got a little something right there. Must have been on my mat. Oh, it's going to be one of those days where splotches appear out of nowhere. Well, that's not too bad. Actually, I can just flip it over and use that side. But I'm not going to. I'm going to use this side. All right. Now, we have a piece of acetate. Now, this can measure any size you want. Just, you need it big enough to cover whatever shape you cut out. And I'm just going to take my Swiffer because my basement is dusty and I'm a messy crafter. And let's see, the humidity is only 52% in here. And I tend to get static electricity. So I'm going to take my double-sided tape and I'm just going to put this down kind of around my star, just to hold this acetate in place. That's all that this tape is for. This is not making a well to hold the shaker bits in. This is just going to hold my acetate on. And my fingers aren't cooperating today with the weather. I was supposed to be outside planting my peas today, but the tree is covered with icicle droplets hanging from it, and the ground's a little crispy crusty, so I don't want to have to work through the soil. It's supposed to be like 60 degrees later this week, so I will do that. Now we're going to make, we've got our acetate on, that's the front of our card. I'm going to put a piece of scratch paper underneath that, just so that I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Get one piece and 20 more follow behind it. Now I have double-sided tape, and I am going to have to cut it and place it in areas. Let's see, I think over here. I'm just going to put a piece here. I'm building up the card and going to make a well for my shaker all at the same time. And I'm going to give it a go here. I should have made this piece smaller. So when I get over here to the star, that's when I need to cut a narrower piece, because I don't want this showing from the front, which that piece just did. So we'll trim that down. Now I'll make some slits. We'll just cut my foam strips that I have, the 1/8 inch foam strips would work great for this. And I might use those in the middle, but it's not quite as high of a loft as this is. So this is working great around here. And when you make your well for your shaker bits, you want to make sure that there is no gap where the little glitter and sequin bits can sneak out, because they for sure will. I'll do another thin strip here. And yeah, this piece, I should have left this piece off to last. So we'll just lift that up and set you over there. Squeaky chair today. I can tell the weather's changed. And since there is a little gap there, I'm going to put that piece right above it. Now this one should be, I'm going to kind of cover up that corner there so that the shaker bits don't go all over inside the card. They can, that would be okay, as long as I have them well protected from getting out. And this, I just need a little fat strip there. And we'll put that right inside. Okay, now we can put our shaker bits in. And actually, this is going to end up being on that side because I could do it this way. Yeah, I could do it that way. I will do it that way. The star does not have to be even. Now I'm going to unpeel and chance putting in my shaker bits with the backings off. Okay, first I have some royal blue kind of sequins that match the school colors. Get in there. Go heavy on the blue. Put my double-sided tape aside, I don't need that. And then I have these, they're like little nuggets, gold nuggets, only they're silver, and that goes well with the school colors. So we're just going to fill that up with it. And then I have some of this just random, like that, silver glittery pieces. But then I also have, this was, I got on Amazon. It's meant for party table filling. And I can't just dump it in because they've got the year 2022 in here, as I bought it a couple years ago thinking I'd make some graduation cards. And I did, but this had more in it than I needed. Now, see, I should have left the adhesive off, covered up. All right. Well, this is not going as planned, as you can see. Leave your backing on your tape while you fill up your glitter bits. All right. Now we'll put there's some congrats. We'll put a couple of those in there. Just some random silver stars, some royal blue diplomas. I think there's a black mortarboard hat. A couple more stars, I think. And that should fill it up fairly well. I don't want to put any of the gold in there. Okay, now to put our second piece of white. This should match up perfectly. If not, we can trim off. And now shake the dickens out of it. Make sure nothing's coming out. Okay, and I didn't get it lined up straight, so we'll just even this up. It's just meant as a back to hold this in there. Nice little shaker card. Okay. Now we'll just dump out those parts. Now I want to stamp on here. And I'm going to take a chance. I shouldn't, but I'm going to take a chance. Nope, I'm going to put it in my Misty. I'm not taking a chance. I did that the other day making a card, and I messed it up. I could have done this before, and I should have done this before you put the two layers together. But I never do anything easy. Always a complicated step in there. Now, out of this honeybee stamp, I'm only going to use the congrats. And I kind of want to put it, we'll put it here, kind of angled between that. And I'll use my VersaFine Clear Nocturne. And my stamping helper. A little bit more down there. That looks good. Now, not with my Swiffer. Clean this off. And I want to put another congrats on here. I'm thinking right here. And it will go right back down where it was. Perfect. Clean this off a little bit better. And nope, that's enough. Okay, no more. Now we get to make a mortar board to go on this. But I'm going to put this on our card front first. And this I'm just putting on with my Tombow glue. You could use double-sided tape, whatever glue that you prefer. And this is just going to go centered on this card. And while I'm making my mortar board, I'll sit this back on top. Now for the graduation cap, I made these, I wanted at least 2 pieces that are 2.5 inches square. But then I wanted it a little bit thicker than that because this paper is a very lightweight cardstock. I want to say 65 pound. So I have 2 other pieces and they're smaller, and that's okay. But I'm going to glue these all together, and I'm sorry for this squeaky chair. My old desk chair from upstairs. I don't want to throw it away. It was still good. It just squeaks. Put these together. And then this behind that. Just to give it some thickness. Now comes the tricky part. I'm going to put a little pencil dot in the center. I'm going to take my tweezers. I can locate where I hid them on my desk here. Oh, they're in the basket right where they're supposed to be. And I'm going to take one point first and just push down through to make a hole. You could use a hole punch if you had one. And then I'm just going to make this a little bit wider. A hole big enough for the brad to go through. Now, I'm going to take, I've got my jump ring. My jump ring and open it up just a little bit. As I said, if you have embroidery floss, this would work perfectly. And put that on there, and you can close this right back up. And then you want to make sure that your jump ring is smaller than your brad. And now I'm just going to put the brad in. See, and then actually, I think I want a little bit of a smaller jump ring. This one was a little bit larger, and I don't like seeing it. So let's move this aside. And I have my jump rings here. Let's see. This size ought to do nicely. Make sure that, yeah, that's a little bit smaller size. This will go right through this. Close it up. Oh, come on, close. I am having a rough day. All right, it's closed. Yay! Now we'll put it through the brad. Put the brad through our hole. And don't pull the brad all the way through because I don't want it pulling down and making that look like that. I want to leave the brad up a little bit so that it'll float. But I just need to separate the tongs inside here if I can. Well, that'll work. Like that. Now, take some more of this double-sided foam tape. Only I'll use my narrower strips because I don't want it as puffed up as much. But I want to raise this up since the brad is sticking up a little bit. Just give this a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape and then just cover the brad. It's not really going to come out of there, but this will just give it a little extra piece of my mind. Yeah, I'll give it a piece of my mind. Scotch tape will do it. All right, I got that in a little too far. There we go. And now I want to put this like right here. Now, see if it needs any. No, it doesn't need any more embellishment. That's it. It's got enough glitter, glitz, and bling. Now, I did one earlier for a girl going to a nearby school whose colors are red and black. I did hers a little different, a lot different actually. I used the waffle flower lace, and I used an oval, and I added some sequins to that. So just using a few different products, you can make a wide variety of cards. And I hope that the recipients will like these. Well, that's it. Thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hope you didn't mind the chair squeaking too much. I apologize.